I'll just pass the mic to you when I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're ready. Hi, everybody. We're so excited to be here at the 39th Annual Swim with Mike at the USC Pool. We are so thrilled. My name is Natalie Bukos. I am a alumni recipient of Swim with Mike at USC, studied at USC Annenberg, Fight On, Go Trojans. I'm here with Greg Gardner. Greg is a new recipient of Swim with Mike. Greg, I want to know, is this your first Swim with Mike? And what you're studying at USC?
Yeah, so my name's Greg. I'm a first-year graduate student here, or not first year, I'm a last-year graduate student here at USC getting my master's in computer science, but I am a first-year recipient, and this is my first Swim with Mike event, so this is really cool being here today. And then, what was your other question? I'm sorry.
What you're most looking forward to in your program this year?
Oh, so I graduate this year, right? And so about 3 more weeks, and then kind of off to the job market and looking at things and seeing everything and see what's out there. The company I work part-time right now at a company in Long Beach. It's an oil and gas company, and I know they really want to keep me on. It's not quite what I've been studying for, but it's a good opportunity. So just kind of getting ready to graduate and move on with life and see where things go.
Tell us a little bit more about your story and how you came to Swim with Mike and a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was about 3.5 years ago. So on November 22nd, 2015, it was my brother's birthday. I was riding a quad out at Dumont Sand Dunes, which is out near Baker, kind of near Las Vegas. And I ended up jumping over one of the sand dunes unexpectedly, and I fell off the bike. I landed on my feet, and I burst fractured my L1 vertebrae. I shattered my femur, and then I shattered my heel bone. So I was airlifted to Las Vegas, to UMC there, and then from there I was shipped off to Craig Hospital, which is a acute spinal cord and TBI injury rehab hospital. And so I was there for about 6 months, kind of in and out of the hospital. I did outpatient for a few extra months before moving back here to Long Beach with my family. And it was at that point where I came back at the time I was working, like I said, it was an oil and gas company where I worked on operations. So I was out in the field running equipment, managing projects and stuff like that. And when I came back, I kind of sat down with my bosses and my executive team, and we kind of looked at my situation and kind of evaluated and they basically came to the conclusion that I couldn't work in those facilities anymore. So kind of everything that I'd been doing the past few years and working towards was kind of no longer an option. So I kind of had to sit down and think about, what do I want to do? What can I do? So I just kind of started picking away at classes. I was taking a couple classes at Long Beach State. And then I found this graduate program here at USC. It was a master's in computer science program. For anybody that has like a business or engineering or mathematics background. So I applied and got in, and then got started right away. And at the time, my first year in my program, I wasn't a scholarship recipient. And that was 'cause I didn't know about it. And then I started meeting with the new physiatrist in Long Beach, Dr. Vasily, and she's like, "Have you heard of Swim with Mike?" And I was like, "No, what's that?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh!" And she was telling me all about the scholarship. She has a few of her patients are all scholarship recipients here too. So she said, "You need to apply. You need to apply. You need to apply." So I applied, and so I've been with the program for about a year now, and it's been a great experience.
To wrap it up, Greg, I just want to say, one of the things that I love with Swim with Mike is the diversity of all of the recipients and their stories.
Mm-hmm.
But can you just tell me, maybe in one sentence, what Swim with Mike means to you and how the program has changed your life?
Yeah, so for me, Swim with Mike has just kind of been like an enormous second chance. It was everything I'd done my undergrad, everything I was working for years in the refineries. It was something I was working towards, and that was kind of taken from me. It was something that I lost. And so just like having this organization here that supports people like me, and that's what you're saying, it's diversity. Everybody has a different story. Everybody that means something more to them. But for me to have this group of people in this organization that's willing to support somebody like me, where it's just this big change in everything, it's just been huge. It's been a great experience.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Greg, and enjoy your first fundraiser, and it's really nice to meet you.
I will. You too. Thank you.
Thank you. We're so excited to have Greg with us. Greg is a USC Trojan like me. Couldn't be more excited to welcome him into the program. We're going to talk a little bit to a current recipient, Chase, who is also a USC Trojan. Chase, we're so excited to have you here as well. I know that, Chase, you're in the cinema program, correct? And talk to us a little bit about what you're doing in the program and some of your plans after you graduate.
So right now in the program, I am in the intermediate editing class. So I'm editing a project every week and turning that in and getting kind of feedback on it. And then I'm also taking as intermediate cinematography class. So every week we go into class and we do like kind of like a lighting workshop, and we just kind of imitate like scenes from films that we like. And other than that, then it's just like a critical studies Tarantino class, which is awesome, and a class called visual expression, which just teaches you how to like tell your story visually. Yeah.
I love that. Well, one of the things that I love about Swim with Mike is we have so many different recipients from all over the place, even though I've already interviewed like 2 Trojans, myself and Greg, and now Chase, who's also a Trojan. We also have so many different people from different schools, which is amazing. But Chase, I love to ask this question because I feel like I get such a different answer from so many different people. But, you know, in one sentence, can you define what Swim with Mike has meant to you and your recovery?
I mean, Swim with Mike is just, I don't know, opened up new doors and opportunities for me. So even though this injury is pretty bad, but at the end of the road, I'll have, maybe even be better off than I would have been if I didn't have this opportunity. So who knows? But yeah, I really appreciate Swim with Mike.
Thank you so much, Chase, for joining us. We're really happy that you're here, and I know that you're going to do amazing things. Can't wait to see what you put on film in the future. So stay tuned. Thanks again, Chase. So we are still here at the 39th Annual Swim with Mike. We just had the diving contest, and we had people jumping off the high dive, and it was crazy. I'm interviewing Molly right now. Hi, Molly. It's so exciting to have you here, and I just want to talk to you, Molly, maybe a little bit about your school that you attend, your program, and really what Swim with Mike means to you.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. This is my first year at the USC Swim, which I'm excited about. I know, right? I'm currently a medical student at the University of Michigan. I'm also getting a master's in higher education, and I'll graduate next spring with an MD and a master's. So hoping to work at an academic medical center and teach medical students and residents as well as care for patients. But this is actually my 8th year as a Swim with Mike recipient. I was a recipient for 4 years in undergrad at Stanford. So I'm in enemy territory here, but happy to be here and happy to see all the support that we have here at the USC Swim. Yeah.
One of the things that we've talked with previous recipients about is there's so many different kids from all over the world that attend USC and that, you know, apply to be a recipient of Swim with Mike. So really being a recipient for undergrad and now graduate school, medical school, really, you know, what has that done for you in your recovery? Because I know for myself, I attended USC for 4 years and it completely changed the trajectory of my life. I don't think I really truly don't believe that I would have been where I'm at now if it wasn't for Swim with Mike. So maybe talk a little bit about what the program has meant to you and your recovery in that regard.
So I think the main benefit of Swim with Mike is actually the community. When I came to Swim with Mike, I thought the financial benefit was going to be the main thing that I would get out of it, and that has been super helpful, especially with so many years in higher education. But the main thing has been seeing other people doing the things that you want to do and seeing an example of the type of life you want to lead and having people sort of show you the way. And that was true for me in undergrad. There were some older recipients that kind of took me under their wing and showed me how to succeed at Stanford. And then when I went to apply to medical school, there aren't that many doctors with disabilities, and I wanted to find some people who I could talk to see, like, what would it look like for me to go to medical school and what would a life in medicine look like. And I found them through Swim with Mike. I talked to Kaya. She connected me with a Swim with Mike alumni who had been injured in medical school, and I talked to her about the things she needed. And that connection was what really showed me that being a doctor was something that was very achievable. And I think that my success in medical school has been largely dependent on those types of connections, and a lot of those have come through this organization.
I'm literally speechless because I think so many of us, I couldn't have said it better. You know, Swim with Mike is a scholarship fund that does provide funds for people to attend school. But like Molly just mentioned, it's really so much more than just resources. It is community aspect. There's so many people that I've met through Swim with Mike that I was like, being a woman in a chair. Let's talk about that for a second. Being a woman in a chair, there's so many guys that get injured, but how many young women do you see, going through this injury? And I think it's been really refreshing to be able to connect with these women on some of our struggles that we don't even really want to face ourselves, but we have this family to really rely on. So I just want to thank you so much for being here and sharing that with us, because I think that was just so, so, so important. And enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Thank you. So we love her. I think that's a great aspect of Swim with Mike, is what a family it really is as a part of Swim with Mike. And next we have Zach coming on. Zach is one of my favorite recipients as well. Obviously, you can see he's in his swim trunks because he swam. He swims every year, which is so awesome. Zach, let's talk about how far you swam today, because I think for so many people in chairs, when they see other people in chairs getting in the water, they're like, oh my God, are they going to be okay? Do they know how to swim? Like, Zach is a absolute warrior in the pool, and I want to talk about how many meters you did today.
Sure, yeah. So every year at Swim with Mike, I try and set a new record for swimming, just kind of in the spirit of Swim with Mike and in the spirit of raising money. And last year my record was, Last year my record was 16 laps. And so this year I was going for 18, and I decided to push it all the way to 26, which is my age. So every year now I'm going to just go for my age. We'll see.
I love that, Zach. You know what? One of my favorite things about Zach is that he literally is just such a go-getter. Ever since I've met you, I've always just been so amazed at everything that you do. Let's talk a little bit about some of the funnest things that you've done this year. When do you graduate? Let's talk about that too.
So I graduated last year. Graduated last year and finished my last classes in August, which is, it was really exciting. And then I had some pretty intense health complications that got in the way of finding a job. They took over my life for the next 6 or so months. But in the last month or two, I've been able to start the job hunt because things have become a little more manageable. And it's been exciting. It's been nerve-wracking but exciting, looking for a job in LA, trying to get into the sports industry. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, there really is no better person to kind of, catapult into the sports industry than you. I feel like every time I talk to you, it's like you're doing something crazy, you're doing something new, and I'm always like, I'm a little bit more timid, and I'm like, okay, like, is this like, I'm like the mom, is this like a good idea? But I think it's awesome. Can we talk a little bit about your injury, just for people that are new on the live cast that really, this is their first time seeing you, this is their first time kind of joining in on the live stream. Just a little bit about your injury and a little bit about your experience at SC. And lastly, a little bit about what Swim with Mike means to you in your recovery.
So I was injured my sophomore year of high school while studying abroad in Switzerland in a skiing-related accident. And needless to say, it changed my life dramatically. But I found my way to USC, and it's been, words can't even describe. It's been unbelievable being a student at USC and being part of the USC family and the Swim with Mike family. Swim with Mike means everything to me. The opportunities that Swim with Mike has provided me with, and just the opportunities that Swim with Mike provides people, athletes with disabilities with, is one of a kind and life-changing, and it just touches my heart for myself and for everyone else that's able to just thrive as a result of the help from Swim with Mike. So, yeah.
Molly, who came on before you, she said something so important, and I think it's going to stick with me for the rest of the day, but she said one of the best things with Swim with Mike is the community aspect of Swim with Mike. Swim with Mike is not just a foundation that provides funds and then leaves you at that. Swim with Mike is a foundation that provides you the financial resources that you need to thrive in your life, but they also provide you the mental, emotional, and physical resources that you also might need. If you need a caregiver, if you're looking for friendship, if you're looking for support in an area that you might not know, you're newly injured, you're looking for somebody that you can relate to. I mean, I think they provide all of those things and above. So it's just really an honor to always catch up with you and talk with you and to be a part of the Swim with Mike family with you. And we hope you have a great time today. Thank you for joining us. And lastly, we're going to talk with Greg. Greg is one of our awesome volunteers that we want to just honor today. He's the one who has kind of set up this whole live stream, and we want to talk with him a little bit. Greg, I just want to connect with you because I think we've seen some really great recipients, and I just want to reiterate one thing. Molly said something so amazing, and she said, Swim with Mike is not just about financial resources. Swim with Mike is about community, and Swim with Mike is truly a family. And I just want to talk a little bit to you because you are so involved with the production of Swim with Mike, putting the event on, raising the resources, and marketing efforts to get people to the swim. So talk a little bit about that process and really what Swim with Mike means to you to wrap up our live stream.
Wow, yeah, thank you. It's a really special event and day, and like you said, it's more than just raising financial resources, which is really the ultimate goal, but it provides a community and a family. And over the last few years, the Swim with Mike Family Association has really grown because we've seen the value in that, and also what it means to not only the recipients, but their family members and their friends and the greater Swim with Mike community. So we've seen that outgrowth from there because we've identified that it's more than just a scholarship. So I think that typifies, the family feeling that we have here. We've had people that have come out for 40 years consecutively, right? So it shows you that it's more than, a transaction. It's about building something together. The event itself is volunteer driven, and that's what makes it really so special. We're all here, to dedicate our time and our energy into making this wonderful day happen and kind of being a ceremonial kind of celebration of a year's worth of work. And so the production is huge, right? It's like all these things, all these people. It's done by volunteers almost exclusively, and it's a chance to kind of bring everybody together and kind of cap off what we think has been a really special year. But Swim with Mike is year-round, so even though we look at this as kind of our capstone, our big event, there's really opportunities throughout the entire year to be involved and to support it. And we're doing things, from July to July. It doesn't just start and stop with this one event. So.
Give us the number. How much we raised today?
Oh, great question. Where's the board? It looks like we are at $1,043,552, which is incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Right?
Wait, what time is it? 12?
It is just about 11, or no, I'm off an hour, almost 12.
Yeah, we got a little bit to go.
We got a lot more to go, so get in there, jump online, do your donations, join us, and there's still time to come out to the pool and hang out, check out the silent auction, whatever it is. So.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Greg. You're the best.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on the live cast. Also, if you guys want to get involved, you want to be able to donate, please visit swimwithmike.com. You're able to donate there year-round. There's also so many other events that you can support. We have Spin with Mike, which is a spin event in Orange County. We do that year-round. We have Roll with Cole. We have so many different other things to get involved in, as well as Swim with Mike. And we just want to thank you guys so much for joining us and being a part of Swim with Mike. You guys are the reason why we're able to be so successful for 39 years. I can't believe it's been 39 years. It's been amazing. Thank you guys so much.
2 Harry Potters. Oh, 3 Harry Potters. That's great. Okay. So, hang on, before we go, was that it? Okay. We're very fortunate now to have Miss California, the lovely Miss Lauren. A big round of applause. Okay. Oh, she has to take her sash off. This is truly an honor for the biggest splash contest to have Miss California. Are you ready, Lauren? You have some very difficult competition today. Exceedingly difficult. But I feel you've got this. Are you ready? Hit it! Wow! We're so blessed. We're so blessed. You get a Lady Gaga and 2 Harry Potters. Yay, Lauren! Congratulations. So the only thing we have left to do now. Are you guys ready for this? I'm sure you see what's coming to the diving board. As is tradition, the Song Girls are submitting their official entrance into the biggest splash contest. Ladies, come forward. Come here. Let everyone, come on, forward. Here, let everyone see you. Okay, they're telling me to wait. It said this is our last one. Either you want to start getting the totals together now. Figure out who's the winner. Okay, we're waiting for some more. It's okay. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. I think this bird is crapping on my head. Yay!
Hi everybody, I'm Hannah Shaw and I'm part of the Song
go! Here we go. Are you ready, princess? Let's do it. This is so fabulous. Let's go, folks. Big one for her. Here we go. I feel it. That was amazing, judges. Straight across the board, Lady Gaga. A big round of applause. That was fantastic. Give us 1 minute to figure out the winners. That was great. That was great. Song girls, night, swimmers, everyone hang out. Dive club, we're going to find the winner. Okay. We have to have a swap off then. Okay, and each of them will win something. What about the song girl? She got straight. Okay, so it's a four-way. We have a four-way tie. Okay, so we're going to have a tiebreaker, flop or splash, okay? So we have no choice. It's according to the Geneva Convention in the rules that if we have ties, we have to have tiebreaker. Now, the way we break the tie is the audience response. So you guys have to applaud, and the judges and the scorekeeper will keep tally of that. So number 3, who's the name of the person, Evie? Alexi. Alexi, you get to do, where's Alexi? And by the way, one of the lovely song girl, you have to be part of oh, there we go, Alexi. You have to do another flop for us. Do you mind? Sure, you ready? Okay. What? He says, can I just swim? Oh, you took off your costume, that's right. Okay, this is a big commitment. That's okay, let's go, you ready? As a hush falls over the crowd, and remember, it's your applause that dictate who of the 4. Here we go. He's a little nervous. Okay, judges, what do you give him? Yeah, you can still vote. Okay, so we got Harry Potters, and we got a fairly good applause. Evie's going to write that down. Good judge, Alexi. Awesome. Good jump. Yay. Who's our next tiebreaker, Evie? That was okay. Who's our next tiebreaker, Evie? Owen. Owen is our next tiebreaker. Oh, yeah, that's right. How could I forget Owen? This is just hideous, and I'm so fortunate to be here. Okay, Owen. You ready to work the board? Always. He's always ready. Okay. So it's your applause and what the judges think. Owen, make it so. I have to stand up. I'm not worthy. I'm just not worthy to be here. Come on, sweetheart. Good job, Owen. Wow. Are you getting out of your sequins now? Are they a little hefty? So the judges gave them, I didn't see it, judges, you guys. Okay, cool. So we had 2 Gagas and a Harry Potter. Okay, who's next? We got 2 more tiebreakers. Natalie, our diver. Oh, wow, our diver from the Trojan Dive Club. Natalie, are you ready? Here we go. That was kind of a dive, but we'll give her some applause, Natalie, and the judges. Okay, 2, 3 Britney Spears. Very nice, Natalie. And now the song girl, who is soaking wet. Do you mind doing it again for us one last time? Come on, big round of applause. Good job, Natalie. Here we go. It's down to this. The tension is intense. I don't know if I can handle any more of this. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, we know the winners, don't we, Evie? Okay, so let me go get the prizes, and we'll give out our prizes to the winners. Give me a second, and I'll go get the prizes, and we're all set. Okay. Oh, we've got a cheer guy. You're gonna go? Okay, just throw that out of the way when you hit the water. That's all. I don't need any disability. Okay, song guy's gonna go. That was really wonderfully. Yeah, big round of applause for the song guy. There we go. Okay.
The greatest band in the history of the universe, the Spirit of Troy, and the world-famous USC Song Girls, and our twirler, Emily Tutnick. And now we'd like to begin our Swim with Mike ceremony, and it gives me great pride to welcome a longtime friend of Swim with Mike. Our MC for today's ceremony has been a part of Swim with Mike since its inception in 1981. Now, I'm going to pause in my introduction. We have a pinch MC today. Our MC for the past many years, John Neighbor, recently had surgery and has yielded our emceeing duties. But John is here, and how about a big round of applause for John Neighbor being here just after his knee surgery. Thank you, John, for being here today. And again, our MC for today has been here since the inception in 1981. He swam with Mike and Ron on the USC NCAA championship swim teams. He is an accomplished swimmer and double Olympic gold medalist in the 1976 games, as well as a 10-time world record holder. He has also been inducted into the USC Sports Hall of Fame, and those are just a few of the awards throughout his 17-year swimming career. However, one of his greatest accomplishments last year, he received the Claire Snow Volunteer of the Year Award and has generally endowed a scholarship for Swim with Mike, the Furness Family and Friends Endowed Scholarship. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big Swim with Mike welcome to Bruce Furness.
Fight on. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 39th annual Swim with Mike. It's a pleasure to be here this glorious day. I'd like to take a quick moment this morning to recognize the following people and their special support this year for Swim with Mike. UBS Financial Services is our presenting sponsor for Swim with Mike this year for the Swim with Mike wheelchair basketball tournament. I'd like to make sure everybody knows that will be taking place in the Lions Center today at 1 o'clock. Thank you to the Norris Foundation for their longtime supporters, Lisa Hansen and Walt Zanino. I'd also like to recognize some people here today that graciously set up endowed scholarships for Swim with Mike. Thank you to the generosity of Rosemary Kramer Rate trustees Cheryl Hammond and John Kramer. Are they here today? Who made 3 generous gifts to Swim with Mike by establishing 3, count them 3, Rosemary Kramer Rate endowed scholarships in perpetuity to celebrate the legacy of her philanthropy. Cheryl and John are here with us today. Our thanks to Bernice Gogo for her very generous support of Swim with Mike. She indeed is a great friend of our Physically Challenged Athlete Scholarship Fund. Thank you very much. Longtime Swim with Mike friends Patsy Dewey and her family have given a gift to endow a scholarship for the Physically Challenged Athlete in perpetuity with an endowed scholarship. Thank you, Patsy and her family. Thank you to all of you for your generous support of the Swim with Mike Physically Challenged Scholarship Fund. We're honored to have with us the man whose name is in the sign. I'm proud to call him a friend, a teammate, even a roommate at times. Mike Neihold is here with us today. He is our very special guest. He's the Mike in Swim with Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Neihold.
I'm not planning on moving anywhere soon, so the day I'm not here will be a very sad day for all of us. So I just want to tell you guys how grateful I am to all the folks that make Swim with Mike and the Physically Challenged Athletes Scholarship Fund. Such a successful event. I mean, we've raised over $1 million the last 5 or 6 years. Who'd have ever thunk back in 1981 when I broke my neck and Ron Orr, Mara Redden, and my family and friends raised, $60,000 to help me. And I was silly enough to make a statement about the future, and Ron Orr had me sign a statement that said we'd be back, and all kinds of good things have happened. So I want to just thank all of our volunteers, the Swim with Mike staff, the folks that have been working so hard all the time, the general store, the Walshes. There's so many people, I couldn't name them all, but everyone that volunteers of their time, donates to our silent auctions, and most importantly, all of you who make donations, who get sponsors to swim laps. I mean, this is, it's got to be one of the greatest fundraisers in the United States, I'd like to say, and I'm so proud and honored to be a part of it. So thank you all. Speaking of generous donors, I have the honor today to introduce Yvonne Bogdanovich. Yvonne first learned about the Swim with Mike through Ron Orr. And then when she had the opportunity to meet with me, she absolutely fell in love with the event. That's not true, but you know what? She's endowed scholarships not only for Swim with Mike, but also the University of Southern California in each of her children's names. She gives of her time and her money to so many nonprofits in the Los Angeles area. It wouldn't be right if we didn't at least recognize Yvonne for her generosity. She's always at our back-to-school brunch. She meets the scholarship recipients, and they have to be impressed with her as much as she is with them. So it's my honor to introduce Yvonne, who's our winner of the Claire Snow People Helping People Award. And I'll also bring up Claire's daughter, Becky Gramstapp, with a small token of our appreciation to recognize Yvonne. Yvonne, please. Becky, please.
Yvonne, my mother was a longtime volunteer with Swim with Mike for many years until she passed 13 years ago. I know she would have been so proud that you are the recipient this year of the Claire Snow Volunteer of the Year Award for everything that you do for the community and especially for Swim with Mike. Congratulations.
A few words? Yvonne, come on.
This is my favorite thing. I'd rather be out there than behind here, but I just want to thank Mike and Ron and their committee for this honor. This is a great honor. My family's here today. My son-in-law John is right there recording. My daughter Christine is behind him. Sitting on the chair next to me is my son Lou. Behind him is my daughter Debbie and my daughter Lori and my extended family, James and Garrison, and also extended family, Mike and Janet Kincannon. So I want to thank all the volunteers that are really out here working today, and all of you for coming and supporting Swim with Mike. It's my honor that I'm in a position that I can make a small difference in someone's life, and there's a poem called 100 Years From Now that basically says that. So thank you again, and have a good day, and fight on.
Thank you, Yvonne. Congratulations. I think you can tell family is a big theme in Yvonne's family. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize the Nyholt family who's here today. Joanne, Karen, I know Randy's here. I saw Ron and his wife earlier. Thank you for being here. Joanne, fight on.
It's my pleasure to introduce two Swim with Mike recipients. Our first speaker today is Molly Fasson. She's from Willamette, Illinois. She received her BS in biology from Stanford, where she continued this tradition at Stanford of a Swim with Mike recipient. Original recipient prior to Molly was Joe Kay. She's completed 3 half marathons. Hello, 3 half marathons. Using a hand bike. This is the most impressive part. She's currently at the University of Michigan, getting her master's in education concurrently with her degree in medicine. It's my pleasure to introduce Molly Fasson. Do you like this or this?
Hello, everyone. I'm Molly, and this is my 8th year as a Swim with Mike recipient. I'm from a suburb just north of Chicago, where I grew up playing a whole lot of sports. In high school, I concentrated on soccer and cross country, and I was injured in a diving accident just before starting my sophomore year of high school. I first learned about Swim with Mike my senior year when I was deciding where to go to college. At the time, I thought Swim with Mike would be a helpful way to offset some of the costs of having a disability, especially some of the costs associated with having a disability and deciding to travel halfway across the country to go to college. When I arrived on the Stanford campus as a freshman in 2008, I found out that Swim with Mike was going to be a whole lot more than that. That's where I met Joe Kay, an older recipient, who took me under his wing. He showed me how to navigate the Stanford campus, how to figure out the social life. He really wanted me to thrive at Stanford. I had the great fortune of participating in the Stanford Mike Swim with Mike for about 5 years, 4 years as a student, and a 5th year when I was working in the area. But my transition to Stanford wasn't the only time that Swim with Mike would have a big impact on my life. A few years after graduating from undergrad, I decided to apply to medical school. I wanted to talk to other people that had been through medical school with a disability. And so I reached out to Swim with Mike. Kaya put me in touch with Susie Kim, a physician with a disability who trained here at the Keck School of Medicine at USC. And that set me off on conversations with physicians with disabilities all across the country who showed me how I could be successful in medical school and what a life in medicine might look like for me. 4 years later, here I am. I'm going to graduate from the University of Michigan next spring with an MD and a master's in higher education. Thanks. I plan to work at an academic medical center, caring for patients and teaching medical students and residents. And that's because I believe there's no gift more important that you can give young people than an outstanding education. Swim with Mike gave me that gift. When I came to Swim with Mike, I thought they were just going to help me pay for college. I got a whole lot more than that. I got a community of people to support me and show me my way here. And I don't think I would be where I am today without Swim with Mike. The best news, I'm one person, and this is one story, but there are thousands of other young people that have been positively impacted by Swim with Mike. So please keep supporting this organization and all the great things they do. They have a big impact on the lives of young students, athletes, and people with disabilities. So on behalf of myself and all my fellow recipients, thank you.
Inspiring, absolutely inspiring. Thank you, Molly. I mentioned earlier Yvonne's family, and she wanted to make sure I gave a shout out to Drew Murray. He's 6'7", he's somewhere here. It's Yvonne's grandson. So thank you for being here. So if you've played hockey, you've heard of our next recipient. It's my pleasure to introduce Jack Jablonski. He's from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Before his neck injury, Jack was a skilled hockey player. Because he injured himself playing hockey, players and teams from all over the country rallied behind this young man. His connection to hockey has led him to hosting a weekly show called Hockey Night in Minneapolis.
He plans on continuing a broadcast career after graduating from USC this spring with his degree in communication. Jack's an inspiration and a wonderful recipient and symbol of our great organization. Jack Jablonski. You want me to hold it?
I got it. Let's get my fingers around it. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, everyone. My name is Jack Jablonski. I am a senior here at USC, and I will be graduating with a degree as a major in communications and a minor in sports media. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone here for not only being here, but supporting Swim with Mike. At the age of 16, like many people do in Minnesota, we play hockey. It's a part of the culture. I started at the age of 3 and never turned back. Unfortunately, during a tournament in the championship game of our high school hockey team, I was illegally checked from behind and sent headfirst into the boards. The hit left me paralyzed from the chest down as I had broken my C5 and C6 vertebrae and completely severed my spinal cord. Just days later, I was told by the doctors I would never move the left side of my body and I'd be lucky to move my right arm. That's when goals came back into my life. As someone who loves scoring goals on the ice, it was time to start setting goals instead. Goals such as graduating on time with my high school class, being able to rejoin my hockey team as an assistant coach, and goals of going to college, all of which I accomplished. As a senior in high school, I came out to USC on a visit, met with Ron Orr of Swim with Mike. Following that meeting, I had a new goal, to go to USC and to have a Swim with Mike scholarship. Fortunately, with hard work throughout the year, I was able to accomplish that as well. Being able to come to USC was a dream of mine ever since I had visited. As I traveled halfway across the country for the first time, leaving home since my injury, I was met by the Swim with Mike family. A family that I had no idea what I was getting into, but has changed my life immensely. The Swim with Mike family has allowed me to follow my dreams in Southern California at a top university. It's allowed me to be an intern for the Los Angeles Kings for the past 4 years, working in the media and broadcast division. And it's allowed me to take once-in-a-lifetime opportunity classes. Because of Swim with Mike, I've not only been able to find another family out in California, but I've been able to not only meet once-in-a-lifetime people who have gone through a disability like mine, but meet people like Mike, Ron, and Kaya. Mike, personally, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for me, but everyone else that has received a scholarship and has been affected by your foundation. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jack. What an inspiration. It's my pleasure now to recognize the Swim with Mike recipients of the past, present, and future. They're here amongst us today, celebrating 39 years of success. You've met many of the scholarship recipients this morning, and I encourage all of you to meet as many as you can throughout the afternoon. That one attribute is really what makes Swim with Mike special and separates us from a lot of the other nonprofits that play in this space. You actually can see and hear and touch the recipients who are benefiting from your generosity of your time, talent, and treasures. Throughout the last 39 years, 231 scholarships have been awarded to athletes representing 60 sports. We currently have 50 recipients at 39 different schools across the country. Before I close, I want to give the mic back to Mike real quick for one last comment.
You know, I'd hate to forget that one of the original reasons there was a Swim for Mike back in 1981 was my college roommate, Ron Orr, also my high school swim team, whatever we call it, you know, team member, and we went to high school. But, you know, Ron Orr has been carrying this event along with Mara Hunter Redden, for 39 years, and family and friends. And I just want to say thank you to Ron and Mara for everything they do. Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Mara. And now we'll get this thing over with. Bruce, do we need to introduce someone?
I'm just going to close. I want to remind everybody to check out the wheelchair basketball again in the Lions Center at 1 o'clock. And for those that have been here before, you know our wonderful barbecue awaits us. Please join us and enjoy the afternoon. Thank you again so much for your continued support of Swim with Mike. Your generosity has changed hundreds of lives, not just here at USC, but across the country. Everything we're able to do for scholarship recipients is possible because of you. Now, I believe we're going to do a tote update. Kathleen?
Well, Bruce, we're going to change the tote board up there. Do you want to say the new total as it goes up? All right. So here we're going to change the board up here, Bruce. Let's see. We are at 1,043,000, but they're going to take that off and see what our new total is going to be here. Are we going to see that too? But that total has gone up to 1,195,421, and that just went up 152,000, give or take. But a great total, and I believe that we will push over that 1.2 million mark in just a few moments. Thank you again to Bruce and to Mike, and that'll conclude our ceremony. Those of you that are awaiting the football team, I've told that the football Song Girl Relay will be at about 1:30. They just finished with their spring showcase over at Cromwell Field, and they are making their way over here. They'll be here in just a few moments. So we are going